When did your parents blame you for ruining their expensive plans after they put you in danger? When I was 16, I ended up in the ER after I got mauled by my parents' dogs while they were at a wine tasting in Napa. Red soaked through the gauze on my arms as the doctor stitched up the worst bite on my shoulder. We need to contact your parents immediately, the ER nurse said while examining the puncture wounds covering both my forearms. They're at a wine festival, but their phone goes straight to voicemail when they're tasting. She stared at me. They don't answer during emergencies. They say tastings are sacred time and nothing should interrupt the wine experience. The nurse tried calling anyway and shook her head after the 5th attempt. They don't know about the attack yet because it just happened an hour ago, I said. How many dogs do you have? Asked the doctor as he cleaned another wound. Right now we have 9, but last week we had 11. 2 got rehomed when they kept attacking each other. He stopped mid-stitch. 9 dogs? In one house? I nodded. My parents run a rescue, except it's not official and they don't actually rescue them. They just see cute dogs online and buy them. Who takes care of 9 dogs? He prompted. Me, obviously. Since my parents travel 4 days a week for their wine blog, the doctor and nurse exchanged looks. How long have you been the primary caretaker for these animals? The doctor asked carefully. Since I was 12 and they brought home the first 3 puppies from a backyard breeder. And now you're 16 managing 9 dogs alone? The nurse asked. Well, technically 11. If you count the 2 they're picking up tomorrow from some guy on Craigslist selling wolf hybrids. The nurse actually gasped. Wolf hybrids? Those require special permits and experienced handlers. Yeah, my parents think they're just big fluffy dogs and have already named them Pinot and Grigio. The doctor paused before opening his mouth again. When was the last time you went to school without rushing home for feeding time? I tried to think. Maybe freshman year before we got dogs 4 through 6? And when did you last hang out with friends without canceling for a dog emergency? The silence stretched too long. When did you last sleep through the night without breaking up fights or cleaning up accidents? My throat felt tight. The dogs need schedules and training, and I'm the only one who bothers. Sweetheart, the nurse said gently. You're not a professional trainer. You're a child who needs stitches from trying to separate fighting animals. That's when animal control walked in, and my heart stopped. We received a report of a dangerous dog attack involving a minor, the officer said officially. The dogs aren't dangerous. They're just stressed and untrained and kept in too small a space and fed inconsistently and never exercised properly, and I heard myself making excuses and stopped. The officer pulled out his tablet. How many animals on the property? 9 dogs ranging from 15 to 90 pounds. Are they licensed? I shook my head. Vaccinated? Some of them maybe, but I don't know where my parents keep the records if they exist. Fixed? Only 2 because my mom thinks it's mean to take away their manhood even though 3 females have had puppies. He wrote furiously. Any previous bite incidents? Well, there was the mailman and the neighbor's kid and that jogger, but my parents said those don't count because no one pressed charges. My dad burst through the door reeking of Merlot and rage. What the hell did you do that required us to leave an exclusive $800 tasting? As my mom trailed behind him, I lifted my bandaged arms. Diesel and Thor got into it over food, and when I tried to separate them, the other dogs joined in. Fire burned in his eyes. You stupid girl. Do you know how embarrassing it was getting called out of the grand tasting? Sir, your daughter has over 30 bite wounds requiring medical attention. The doctor interrupted. She's being dramatic as usual and probably provoked them somehow. Sir, I'm mandated to report this. The officer stepped forward. 9 unlicensed, unvaccinated dogs in one home with a minor as sole caretaker constitutes neglect and endangerment. My dad ignored the officer and went off on me. Those dogs are worth thousands of dollars. Dad, I needed 14 stitches and a tetanus shot. He snarled. Do you have any idea what this emergency room visit will cost our insurance? The officer closed his tablet. All animals will be removed pending investigation, and you'll be prohibited from adopting any animals for 5 years minimum. My mom started sobbing about her fur babies, while the officer explained criminal charges.